Welcome back to tonight's special edition of Tucker Carlson Tonight. Not even 3 years ago, think about this, you guys, Barack Obama was president of the United States. But now his legacy as chief executive is drying up. First, Trump came in and began undoing his policies, but now even the Democrats are turning on the former president. In the last Democratic debate round, candidates took turns bashing Joe Biden for his connection to Obama's policies on immigration and other issues. Now, new reports say that Obama personally urged Biden not to run and is worried that his gaffe-filled campaign will further damage Obama's legacy. Buck Sexton going to give us some clarity on this. He hosts the Buck Sexton Show. Thank you for coming on tonight, Buck. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You know, it is an interesting turn of events. We never would have imagined this, but we do know that Barack Obama effectively destroyed the Democratic Party with Obamacare in that 2010 shift. They lost a huge number of their backbench, their talent backbench, and he was really not worried about the health of the party going forward or any even really major messaging. Do you think now Joe Biden is still nicely ahead in the polls? Do you think this problem is going to be the thing that undoes him and presents somebody else as the front runner?
Well, I think that Biden has been the candidate in the lead by default up to this point, and he's been essentially riding on the fumes of the Obama presidency. He doesn't have Obama's coattails anymore, though, to hold on to. And when people learn more about him as a candidate, they start to think, who is this guy exactly? Remember, for 8 years, he was VP. He was somebody who, he was at a lot of events. His name recognition went up dramatically, which is a big difference from 2008 when he couldn't get more than 4 or 5% in any poll because people didn't know who he was across the country. But then when you saw 8 years at VP, people think, okay, a continuation of the Obama legacy. But then Hillary swooped in and was the candidate the last time around. So if he was so great, why wasn't he the guy then? He seems to be the guy now because there's nobody else that has come to the forefront that the party can really get behind. And I just say some of these new things that are coming up, like maybe they're not going to give him so many events late in the day. Maybe they're going to try to come up with a new way so he doesn't get tired. If he wants to be the leader of the free world, we can't be trying to come up with ways to make this easier for him.
Buck, that's what, of course, the primary season is for. You find out what people are made of. You learn about who they are. You know, you do have some name recognition with Vice President Biden, but that's about it. But you do find out, and that's how people learned about Trump. You find out if someone's consistent, who they really are, if they're going to talk to you about policy or not, if they've got, it's not a joke. I mean, the president's got high energy. If you've got the energy and the wherewithal to deal with this, but that is, and we saw that report in The Hill, that it was like, well, in order to stop the gaffes, maybe they need him to stop talking at certain points. It's only going to get more intense, isn't it? I mean, as more people fall out from the Democrats, and then you might have a general election, it's impossible for them.
Well, it's not just the pressure that will increase when there are fewer candidates in the race, and clearly Biden's going to be around for quite some time. It's also when all of a sudden Donald Trump, who we saw last night in the usual form that he shows, which is a guy who's an incredible entertainer, a tremendous amount of energy, and also is a fighter, especially on the campaign trail. You're going to have Joe Biden up against him. And keep in mind, you've had the Democrats saying that Trump doesn't have the mental faculty to be president. They've talked about the 25th Amendment. Well, as a result, you're going to look at Biden's age, his temperament, his energy. That's all completely fair game stuff now. And when you see the Democratic Party, by the way, repudiating, as they did the last debate, Obama's legacy.
Buck, I got to ask you, though. I got to ask you this. When we talk about that, people say Barack Obama's concerned about Joe Biden, and he's concerned about the campaign. Is that what Barack Obama's really concerned about when he tries to stop Joe Biden from talking or running?
No, this is quite an Obamaism, actually. You mentioned at the start of the segment that Obama was incredibly successful running for himself at different points in his political campaign. The Democratic Party was in shambles when he was done, and his success at the ballot box never translated into other people. And I think that's why Joe Biden this time around. And that's going to happen this time. They're hoping that Biden, he gets surpassed, but he doesn't collapse. And that's why Obama's stepping in.
We got to go, and I have a feeling this is going to be, a premonition here about what we're going to see coming up. Buck, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.